silver button sits upon the cedar board, dropped from the coat you wore the day we went abroad. I trace its edge and wonder where the threads have gone that held you here beside me till the autumn dawn. The tea is steeping in the pot we bought in town, while shadow fingers pull the evening slowly down. I never asked the questions that would clear the air. We packed our suitcases with half a heart to spare. Now rooms are wider than the space between our chairs, and silence occupies the top of all the stairs. Your favorite fountain pen is drying in the glass. I watch the seasons through the window slowly pass. I keep your letters tied with faded cotton string and try to picture what tomorrow night might bring. The heavy curtain keeps the autumn wind outside, along with everything we never tried to hide. I never asked the questions that would clear the air. We packed our suitcases with half a heart to spare. Now rooms are wider than the space between our chairs, and silence occupies the top of all the stairs. It takes a lifetime just to learn to let things rest, to fold the empty coat and put it in the chest, to turn the burner off and lock the heavy door, and leave the silver button where it fell before. The lamp is dimming on the table by the wall. I leave the button resting there to catch the fall. I trace the circle where your fingers used to stay, and turn the quiet corner to the end of day. A distant vendor pushes heavy wheels across the brick. Your kitchen clock is ticking with a slow and steady click. We sit and watch the shadows stretch across the faded floor, and neither of us speaks about the closing of that door. You pour the tea and spill a single drop upon the tray, as if you need an excuse to look another way. I know the coat you're wearing has a button hanging loose, and letting go of certain things is hard. for us to choose. Remember how we danced until the Nickelodeon broke down, before the county highway paved a bypass round this town. Now autumn winds are shaking down the last remaining leaves and pooling water heavy in the rusty ironies. We traded all our summer fire for quiet winter nights and watched the final passenger depart without our lights. It takes a gentle courage just to leave the past alone, to treat a heavy heartache like a familiar stepping stone. My dear old friend, the evening bell is ringing from the square, and we have got no business waiting for an answer there. So blow the candle out and let the parlor settle deep. The road is long behind us, and the night is ours to keep. Chestnuts fills the cold November square, where Arthur wears his woolen scarf and checks his pocket square. He looks across the trolley tracks to watch the pastry shop, remembering the morning when he told her she should stop. Clara sits inside the warmth behind the steamed up glass. She traces phantom initials as the local children pass. She holds a warm ceramic cup of cinnamon and tea and counts the heavy seconds since she last set Arthur free. For love can bloom in autumn leaves and wither in the snow, and pride is just a heavy coat that neither wants to throw. They share a single traffic light across the gray expanse, two strangers waiting for a song to ask them how to dance. The trolley bells are ringing out to signal 1:15. He takes a single step ahead to bridge the decades cast. She sees him in the double panes and slowly stands upright to meet him at the corner where the street is burning bright. The chestnuts cool upon the tray, the winter wind blows cold. They close the book on yesterday and leave the page unfold. Together down the avenue they walk away from pain and promise not to lose their way until it starts to rain. cuts through the quiet room. A phantom weight of wool coats in the gloom. You left your silver lighter on the shelf, and I am learning how to count to 12. Without your steady breathing in the dark, just ticking clocks and winter in the park. The coffee pot is dry, the kitchen cold. A heavy story that we couldn't hold. I packed the leather suitcase by the door and walked across the checkerboard wood floor. Your shadow lingered by the window pane, while autumn turned into a freezing rain. We missed the final train to Caroline and left the rest behind in 49. A ticket stub is yellow in the drawer. From summer nights we won't be needing more. The neighbor sweeps the gravel on the street, while strangers pass each other on concrete. How fast a lifetime narrows to a drawer, to wooden beads and woolen coats no more. The milkman whistles down the avenue, and I am miles away from loving you. The street lights flicker as the evening falls, and shadows lengthening on the hallway walls. I close the heavy front door with a key and leave the empty kitchen for the sea. Why does the teacup leave a red circle on the wood, right where your thumb used to rest while you spoke? Nobody cleaned the grease off the back of the stove. I found your heavy wool coat in the dark, sitting alone on the cedar chest. 10 months of silence falling through the floor. I count the floorboards, walk into the door. Old brass lamp collects the evening dust. We traded quiet promises for rust. Your letters burned down to a pile of ash, while I still pay for groceries with cash. I keep the radio tuned to the weather in Maine, though we have never been north of the state line. You like the way the announcer would mention the snow while we sat buttering toast in the damp. waiting for boilers to crank and to hum. Memory plays like a worn magnetic tape, tangling ribbons of blue in the sun. Nothing was finished and nothing was done. I fold the wool coat and put it away. Another winter is starting today. I lock the front deadbolt and turn down the wick, and watch the clock pendulum settle and tick. The weight of the chair on the floorboard still speaks of hours we spent turning gray into gold. You rushed out the door with your coat on your cheek, believing that paper and time make you bold. Tried to call out through the dust on the glass to tell you that winter is shorter than planned. We traded our Sundays for things that would pass, and dropped all the porcelain right from our hand. You left half a sandwich right there on the plate, convinced that the city was calling your name. Youth is a fire that burns down the bar, leaving you freezing and shivering twice. Nobody warns you how fast love can turn into a mirror that cuts through the ice. Look at the scars on the back of your head. They are the map of the roads you survived. Sit down for a moment and catch your poor breath. I forgive you completely for breaking my heart. The wool of your old sweater holds the chill. It hangs upon the hook behind the door. I touch the heavy sleeve and time stands still upon the polished wooden floor. A photograph is tucked inside a book, a ticket stub from 1984. I search the room for one familiar look and miss the way you used to walk across the floor. Old melodies remain within the air, without a single worry there. The autumn wind is knocking at the pane. I watch the shadows lengthening again. We packed our bags and promised not to cry. Beneath the darkened railway station sky, I kept a single promise made that night, to turn away and lose you from my side. Until the fading light, I close the heavy wooden door tonight. The empty room absorbs the quiet sound, while fallen leaves are spinning to the ground. A glowing digit marks the quiet room. The kitchen floorboards settle in the gloom. I poured 2 cups of water by the sink, and caught myself with nothing left to drink. In 20 years I'll sit in this same chair and reach across to touch the empty air. I wonder if my hands will still recall the heavy coat you left behind the hall. When winter winds blow through the broken screen, I'll count the days of what we might have been. The old mahogany will creak and bend to show the passage where the hallways end. I see the calendar of faded blue, each square a little further from the truth. By then the neighbors won't remember you, or how we danced the garden terrace through. When winter winds blow through the broken screen, I'll count the days of what we might have been. The old mahogany will creak and bend to show the passage where the hallways end. A time will come when names are hard to say, and summer afternoons just fade away. I hope I dream of how your laughter fell before the shadows cast their quiet spell. The clock will chime for midnight all alone. I'll keep your memory carved into the stone. No matter where the future leads my feet, I still remember every single beat. Copper thimble rests beside the plate. I turn it over, wonder who it served. The Tuesday letters gathered at the gate, while memory bends along a quiet curve. We spent our winters arguing about the stove and how the firewood should always dry. I trace the patterns in the painted grove and ask the empty room a reason why. You packed your brown valise before the noon. I stayed behind to sweep the kitchen floor. We lost the proper time to change our tune and bolted fast the heavy cedar door. The calendar still shows a month ago, with numbers circled in your purple ink. I let the tea grow heavy in the slow, untasted margin of the porcelain sink. It takes a simple quietude to break a life we built together, stone by stone. I wonder what mistake you couldn't take, and why it hurts so much to sleep alone. The copper thimble rolls into the dark. I close the ledger where our names remain, and watch the twilight fade without a spark through dusty windows streaming with the rain. Rusted gate swings wide to let the milk truck pass. Its heavy iron clanking on the frosty glass. You pull your collar high against the morning chill and watch the shadows lengthen on the western hill. We used to share a nickel for the cinnamon roll and count the copper pennies in the wooden bowl. You always took the corner with the sugary crust, while all our youthful promises dissolved in dust. Old friendships fade like ink upon a paper bag, and heavy suitcases become a dragging sack. You packed your bags when summer turned to bitter gray, and left me sitting on the curb to watch you stray. hardware store caught fire at noon. We stood across the pavement underneath the moon. You touched my sleeve and whispered that we had to run before the neighbors woke up to greet the rising sun. That green door on Elm Street stays locked for good today. I walk past the sidewalk and turn my eyes away. The milk truck has vanished around the corner bend, and I am left alone without my oldest friend. The smell of pine and mutton fat drifts down the alleyway where Mrs. Gable sweeps her porch at the close of every day. She watches Arthur cross the street with heavy boots of brown, the only man who failed to find a welcome in this town. He left his hat upon the hook when autumn turned to sleet, and she locked the oak double doors to empty out the street. No telegram arrived to say he crossed the county line, just silence left to settle in the kitchen's bitter wine. He carried all his worldly wealth inside a carpet bag and pinned upon his woolen coat a faded ribbon rag. She sat beside the parlor glass and watched him disappear, her fingers tracing copper rings she wore for 7 years. He left his hat upon the hook when autumn turned to sleet, and she locked the oak double doors to empty out the street. No telegram arrived to say he crossed the county line, just silence left to settle in the kitchen's bitter wine. The neighbor children whisper now about the empty chair and how the parlor smells of dust and unbrushed maiden hair. A love that starts with autumn leaves and ends in falling snow leaves nothing for the tongue to say and nowhere else to go. The chimney smoke has died away above the parlor floor, and nobody will turn the key inside that rusty door. She folds her hands across her lap and waits for candlelight while winter winds begin to blow the stories out of sight. rattles down the brick-paved lane and spills a single note against the pane. The sugar bowl is empty on the side. A folded paper sits without a guide. I count the spoons you left in every drawer and wonder what we kept them here for. Small yellow tickets torn in half, a dry chrysanthemum on path. You pack the winter coat away and left me standing in the gray. The grocery list is written in your hand beside a pot of dry hibiscus sand. A fallen hairpin catches on the rug. The silence settles heavy in the mug. I count the spoons you left in every drawer and wonder what we kept them here for. Small yellow tickets torn in half, a dry chrysanthemum on path. You pack the winter coat away and left me standing in the gray. Each little mark upon the kitchen wall reminds me how we measured short and tall. The kettle whistles when the heat is high, with no one here to pour and say goodbye. The milk float turns the corner out of sight and leaves me with the falling autumn light. I close the heavy door against the chill and turn the iron gas valve down until
The smell of malt and vinegar is drifting from the street, and suddenly the decades drop away from both my feet. I see the corner shop where we would share a greasy bag before the years grew heavy and our step began to lag. You reached inside the paper for the crispy golden crust and laughed because the paper stain had left a little dust. I brushed it from your knuckle with a quick and tender stroke, while down the lane the parish clock in heavy metal spoke. That brown paper parcel is rotting in the dustbin now, and I am left to wonder where the seasons went and how. You packed your leather suitcase on a Tuesday in July, without a parting syllable, without a tearful eye. The vinegar has faded from the pavement and the air, yet every time I smell it, I am sitting with you there. The paper has long vanished, but the stinging memory stays, a sharp and sudden hunger from those distant golden days.
Crooked on the floor, between your shoes and mine, beside the door. We never met before this rainy day, yet here we sit and watch the shadows play. Stranger in the vinyl booth across the aisle, tell me who you lost beneath that tired smile. Every suitcase holds a heavy tale of grief. Mine is turning yellow like an autumn leaf. You trace a circle on the glass of gin, ask me where the hurt is starting in. I tell you about a porch in Tennessee, where someone waited 30 years for me. Stranger in the vinyl booth across the aisle, tell me who you lost beneath that tired smile. Every suitcase holds a heavy tale of grief. Mine is turning yellow like an autumn leaf. The clock above the register ticks slow. We share a secret neither one should know. Before the headlights turn the corner down, we lay our heavy anchor in this town. The engine roars and pulls you from my sight. I fold your paper napkin in the night. Two strangers passing in the diesel haze, we kept each other warm for 40 days. You said the porch light drew the moths in June, and left it off to keep the timber cool. I found a button underneath the broom, and 3 dried petals on the kitchen stool. The calendar still shows last August page, squirrels are gathered at the wall. A bird has built a nest inside the cage. We used to hang outside the garden hall. Your heavy coat is hanging by the door. The dust is settling quiet on the floor. I count the floorboards walking down the hall. No footsteps answer mine now after all. The neighbor sweeps his gravel every day. He throws stale breadcrumbs where the sparrows stay. He never asks me why the shade stays drawn, or why your teacup vanished since the dawn. I let the latch click heavy as I go, without the porch light guiding through the glow. The street is quiet and the wind is chill, and every little box is packed and still. A glowing number ticks upon the wall. 3:10, and neither one speaks low. We kept the lamps turned off to hide the fall. We packed the cases 40 hours ago. Some strangers live in houses where we stay. This carpet holds the shape of shoes we wore. The price of keeping vows was dearly paid, and neither foot will cross that painted floor. Your silver hair will catch the autumn light in some brick town 3 counties from the coast. I'll fold your heavy sweaters out of sight and wonder which of us gave up the most. Some strangers live in houses where we stay. This carpet holds the shape of shoes we wore. The price of keeping vows was dearly paid, and neither foot will cross that painted floor. 10 years from now, I'll see your coat downtown and cross the street before you turn your head. We will not write things down. We will not share a bed. The second hand completes its final tour. The headlights wash across the faded stair. We close the heavy book behind the door and leave each other sitting in that chair. porcelain rabbit sits right by the salt shaker, and I keep turning it round and round with my thumb. We bought it together on a rainy Tuesday in Decatur, before the silence grew so heavy and so numb. I still buy 2 loaves of rye down at the corner store, forgetting for a second that you do not walk through that door. I counted every floorboard that you used to cross, to measure out the quiet shape of this long loss. The photographs have faded in their paper frames, while I still sit in darkness, whispering your names. Your gray wool cardigan hangs on the back of the chair. I touch the sleeve and almost think I smell your rain. The neighbors wave hello, but they do not stop to stare. They know how old folks learn to live with phantom pain. I still keep the kettle boiling till the whistle blows, though nobody is coming home to warm their toes. I counted every floorboard that you used to cross, to measure out the quiet shape of this long loss. The photographs have faded in their paper frames, while I still sit in darkness, whispering your names. Sometimes in the twilight I look down the paved lane, expecting to see your umbrella against the gray strain of evening settling softly on the quiet street, before I remember how our parting had to meet. The porcelain rabbit stays beside the salt through the night, and I fold your wool cardigan into the fading light. I lock the front door firmly against the rising chill, and carry your absence up the wooden stairs until trolley bell clangs down the avenue, while you adjust your collar from the chill. Old friend, we watch the summers all burn through, and left our names carved deep upon the hill. That distant promise finally came unglued. You packed your heavy suitcase in the rain. I paid the tab and left the bitter food, and neither one of us will speak again. The baker pulls his shutters with a bang. A across the square where pigeons used to feed. I keep the battered song you always sang, though time has stripped away our simple need. That distant promise finally came unglued. You packed your heavy suitcase in the rain. I paid the tab and left the bitter food, and neither one of us will speak again. We thought our roots would hold against the gale, but autumn leaves drift separate on the lane. The story ends without a copper nail, and shadows stretch across the window pane. I walk alone beneath the fading street lamp's glow, and leave the heavy door unlocked for you to know. A silver button sits upon the cedar board, dropped from the coat you wore the day we went abroad. I trace its edge and wonder where the threads have gone that held you here beside me till the autumn dawn. The tea is steeping in the pot we bought in town, while shadow fingers pull the evening slowly down. I never asked the questions that would clear the air. We packed our suitcases with half a heart to spare. Now rooms are wider than the space between our chairs, and silence occupies the top of all the stairs. Your favorite fountain pen is drying in the glass. I watch the seasons through the window slowly pass. I keep your letters tied with faded cotton string, and try to picture what tomorrow night might bring. The heavy curtain keeps the autumn wind outside, along with everything we never tried to hide. I never asked the questions that would clear the air. We packed our suitcases with half a heart to spare. Now rooms are wider than the space between our chairs, and silence occupies the top of all the stairs. It takes a lifetime just to learn to let things rest, to fold the empty coat and put it in the chest, to turn the burner off and lock the heavy door, and leave the silver button where it fell before. The lamp is dimming on the table by the wall. I leave the button resting there to catch the fall. I trace the circle where your fingers used to stay, and turn the quiet corner to the end of day. A distant vendor pushes heavy wheels across the brick. Your kitchen clock is ticking with a slow and steady click. We sit and watch the shadows stretch across the faded floor, and neither of us speaks about the closing of that door. You pour the tea and spill a single drop upon the tray, as if you need an excuse to look another way. I know the coat you're wearing has a button hanging loose, and letting go of certain things is hard for us to choose. Remember how we danced until the Nickelodeon broke down, before the county highway paved a bypass round this town. Now autumn winds are shaking down the last remaining leaves, and pooling water heavy in the rusty ironies. We traded all our summer fire for quiet winter nights, and watched the final passenger depart without our lights. It takes a gentle courage just to leave the past alone, to treat a heavy heartache like a familiar stepping stone. My dear old friend, the evening bell is ringing from the square, and we have got no business waiting for an answer there. So blow the candle out and let the parlor settle deep. The road is long behind us, and the night is ours to keep. Roasted chestnuts fills the cold November square, where Arthur wears his woolen scarf and checks his pocket square. He looks across the trolley tracks to watch the pastry shop, remembering the morning when he told her she should stop. Clara sits inside the warmth behind the steamed up glass. She traces fantasy phantom initials as the local children pass. She holds a warm ceramic cup of cinnamon and tea and counts the heavy seconds since she last set Arthur free. For love can bloom in autumn leaves and wither in the snow, and pride is just a heavy coat that neither wants to throw. They share a single traffic light across the gray expanse, two strangers waiting for a song to ask them how to dance. The trolley bells are ringing out to signal 1:15. He takes a single step ahead to bridge the decades cast. She sees him in the double panes and slowly stands upright to meet him at the corner where the street is burning bright. The chestnuts cool upon the tray, the winter wind blows cold. They close the book on yesterday and leave the page unfold. Together down the avenue they walk away from pain and promise not to lose their way until it starts to rain. A sudden thought cuts through the quiet room, a phantom weight of wool coats in the gloom. You left your silver lighter on the shelf, and I am learning how to count to 12. Without your steady breathing in the dark, just ticking clocks and winter in the park. The coffee pot is dry, the kitchen cold, a heavy story that we couldn't hold. I packed the leather suitcase by the door and walked across the checkerboard wood floor. Your shadow lingered by the window pane, while autumn turned into a freezing rain. We missed the final train to Caroline and left the rest behind in 49. A ticket stub is yellow in the drawer. From summer nights we won't be needing more. The neighbor sweeps the gravel on the street, while strangers pass each other on concrete. How fast a lifetime narrows to a drawer, to wooden beads and woolen coats no more. The milkman whistles down the avenue, and I am miles away from loving you. The street lights flicker as the and shadows lengthening on the hallway walls. I close the heavy front door with a key and leave the empty kitchen for the sea. Why does the teacup leave a red circle on the wood? Right where your thumb used to rest while you spoke. Nobody cleaned the grease off the back of the stove. I found your heavy wool coat in the dark, sitting alone on the cedar chest. 10 months of silence falling through the floor. I count the floorboards walking to the door. Old brass lamp collects the evening dust. We traded quiet promises for rust. Your letters burned down to a pile of ash, while I still pay for groceries with cash. I keep the radio tuned to the weather in Maine, though we have never been north of the state line. You like the way the announcer would mention the snow while we sat buttering toast in the damp, waiting for boilers to crank and to hum. Memory plays like a worn magnetic tape, tangling ribbons of blue in the sun. Nothing was finished and nothing was done. I fold the wool coat and put it away. Another winter is starting today. I lock the front deadbolt and turn down the wick, and watch the clock pendulum settle and tick. The weight of the chair on the floorboard still speaks of hours we spent turning gray into gold. You rushed out the door with your coat on your cheek, believing that paper and time make you bold. Tried to call out through the dust on the glass to tell you that winter is shorter than planned. We traded our Sundays for things that would pass, and dropped all the porcelain right from our hand. You left half a sandwich right there on the plate, convinced that the city was calling your name. Youth is a fire your poor breath. I forgive you completely for breaking my heart. Sweater holds the chill. It hangs upon the hook behind the door. I touch the heavy sleeve and time stands still upon the polished wooden floor. A photograph is tucked inside a book. Ticket stub from 1984. I search the room for one familiar look and miss the way you used to walk across the floor. Old melodies remain within the air. We danced without a single worry there. The autumn wind is knocking at the pane. I watch the shadows lengthening again. We packed our bags and promised not to cry beneath the darkened railway station sky. I kept a single promise made that night, to turn away and lose you from my sight. The sweater hangs until the fading light. I close the heavy wooden door tonight. The empty room absorbs the quiet sound, while fallen leaves are spinning to the ground. A glowing digit marks the quiet room. The kitchen floorboards settle in the gloom. I poured 2 cups of water by the sink and caught myself with nothing left to drink. In 20 years I'll sit in this same chair and reach across to touch the empty air. I wonder if my hands will still recall the heavy coat you left behind the hall. When winter winds blow through the broken screen, I'll count the days of what we might have been. The old mahogany will creak and bend to show the passage where the hallway see the calendar of faded blue, each square a little further from the truth. By then the neighbors won't remember you, or how we danced the garden terrace through. When winter winds blow through the broken screen, I'll count the days of what we might have been. The old mahogany will creak and bend to show the passage where the hallways end. A time will come when names are hard to say, and summer afternoons just fade away. I hope I dream of how your laughter fell before the shadows cast their quiet spell. The clock will chime for midnight all alone. I'll keep your memory carved into the stone. No matter where the future leads my feet, I still remember every single beat. A copper thimble rests beside the plate. I turn it over, wonder who it served. The Tuesday letters gathered at the gate, while memory bends along a quiet curve. We spent our winters arguing about the stove, and how the firewood should always dry. I trace the patterns in the painted grove, and ask the empty room a reason why. You packed your brown valise before the noon. I stayed behind to sweep the kitchen floor. We lost the proper time to change our tune, and bolted fast the heavy cedar door. The calendar still shows a month ago, with numbers circled in your purple ink. I let the tea grow heavy in the slow, untasted margin of the porcelain sink. It takes a simple quietude to break a life we built together, stone by stone. I wonder what mistake you couldn't take, and why it hurts so much to sleep alone. The copper thimble rolls into the dark. I close the ledger where our names remain, and watch the twilight fade without a spark, through dusty windows streaming with the rain. gate swings wide to let the milk truck pass. Its heavy iron clanking on the frosty glass. You pull your collar high against the morning chill and watch the shadows lengthen on the western hill. We used to share a nickel for the cinnamon roll and count the copper pennies in the wooden bowl. You always took the corner with the sugary crust, while all our youthful promises dissolved in dust. Old friendships fade like ink upon a paper bag, and heavy suitcases become a dragging sack. You packed your bags when summer turned to bitter gray, and left me sitting on the curb to watch you stray. Remember when the hardware store caught fire at noon? We stood across the pavement underneath the moon. You touched my sleeve and whispered that we had to run before the neighbors woke up to greet the rising sun. That green door on Elm Street stays locked for good today. I walk past the sidewalk and turn my eyes away. The milk truck has vanished around the corner bend, and I am left alone without my oldest friend. The smell of pine and mutton fat drifts down the alleyway where Mrs. Gable sweeps her porch at the close of every day. She watches Arthur cross the street with heavy boots of brown, the only man who failed to find a welcome in this town. He left his hat upon the hook when autumn turned to sleet, and she locked the oak double doors to empty out the street. No telegram arrived to say he crossed the county line, just silence left to settle in the kitchen's bitter wine. He carried all his worldly wealth inside a carpet bag, and pinned upon his woolen coat a faded ribbon rag. She sat beside the parlor glass and watched him disappear, her fingers tracing copper rings she wore for 7 years. He left his hat upon the hook when autumn turned to sleet, and she locked the oak double doors to empty out the street. No telegram arrived to say he crossed the county line, just silence left to settle in the kitchen's bitter wine. The neighbor chilled whisper now about the empty chair, and how the parlor smells of dust and unbrushed maiden hair. A love that starts with autumn leaves and ends in falling snow, leaves nothing for the tongue to say, and nowhere else to go. The chimney smoke has died away above the parlor floor, and nobody will turn the key inside that rusty door. She folds her hands across her lap and waits for candlelight, while winter winds begin to blow the stories out of sight. A milk float rattles down the brick-paved lane and spills a single note against the pane. The sugar bowl is empty on the side. A folded paper sits without a guide. I count the spoons you left in every drawer and wonder what we kept them here for. Small yellow tickets torn in half, a dry chrysanthemum on path. You pack the winter coat away and left me standing in the gray. The grocery list is written in your hand beside a pot of dry hibiscus sand. A fallen hairpin catches on the rug. The silence settles heavy in the mug. I count the spoons you left in every drawer and wonder what we kept them here for. Small yellow tickets torn in half, a dry chrysanthemum on path. You pack the winter coat away and left me standing in the gray. Each little mark upon the kitchen wall reminds me how we measured short and tall. The kettle whistles when the heat is high, with no one here to pour and say goodbye. The milk float turns the corner out of sight and leaves me with the falling autumn light. I close the heavy door against the chill and turn the iron gas valve down until
smell of malt and vinegar is drifting from the street, and suddenly the decades drop away from both my feet. I see the corner shop where we would share a greasy bag before the years grew heavy and our step began to lag. You reached inside the paper for the crispy golden crust and laughed because the paper stain had left a little dust. I brushed it from your knuckle with a quick and tender stroke, while down the lane the parish clock in heavy metal spoke. That brown paper parcel is rotting in the dustbin now, and I am left to wonder where the seasons went and how. You packed your leather suitcase on a Tuesday in July, without a parting syllable, without a tearful eye. The vinegar has faded from the pavement and the air, yet every time I smell it, I am sitting with you there. The paper has long vanished, but the stinging memory stays, a sharp and sudden hunger from those distant golden days.
Crooked on the floor, between your shoes and mine beside the door. We never met before this rainy day, yet here we sit and watch the shadows play. Stranger in the vinyl booth across the aisle, tell me who you lost beneath that tired smile. Every suitcase holds a heavy tale of grief. Mine is turning yellow like an autumn leaf. You trace a circle on the glass of gin, ask me where the hurt is starting in. I tell you about a porch in Tennessee, where someone waited 30 years for me. Stranger in the vinyl booth across the aisle, tell me who you lost beneath that tired smile. Every suitcase holds a heavy tale of grief. Mine is turning yellow like an autumn leaf. The clock above the register ticks slow. We share a secret neither one should know. Before the headlights turn the corner down, we lay our heavy anchor in this town. The engine roars and pulls you from my sight. I fold your paper napkin in the night. Two strangers passing in the diesel haze. We kept each other warm for 40 days. You said the porch light drew the moths in June and left it off to keep the timber cool. I found a button underneath the broom and 3 dried petals on the kitchen stool. The calendar still shows last August page. The milk bottles are gathered at the wall. A bird has built a nest inside the cage. We used to hang outside the garden hall. Your heavy coat is hanging by the door. The dust is settling quiet on the floor. I count the floorboards walking down the hall. No footsteps answer mine now after all. The neighbor sweeps his gravel every day. He throws stale breadcrumbs where the sparrows stay. He never asks me why the shade stays drawn, or why your teacup vanished since the dawn. I let the latch click heavy as I go, without the porch light guiding through the glow. The street is quiet and the wind is chill, and every little box is packed and still. A glowing number ticks upon the wall. 3:10, and neither one speaks low. We kept the lamps turned off to hide the fall. We packed the cases 40 hours ago. Some strangers live in houses where we stay. This carpet holds the shape of shoes we wore. The price of keeping vows was dearly paid, and neither foot will cross that painted floor. Your silver hair will catch the autumn light in some brick town 3 counties from the coast. I'll fold your heavy sweaters out of sight and wonder which of us gave up the most. Some strangers live in houses where we stayed. This carpet holds the shape of shoes we wore. The price of keeping vows was dearly paid, and neither foot will cross that painted floor. 10 years from now, I'll see your coat downtown and cross the street before you turn your head. We will not write things down. We will not share a bed. The second hand completes its final tour. The headlights wash across the faded stair. We close the heavy book behind the door and leave each other sitting in that chair. Chipped porcelain rabbit sits right by the salt shaker, and I keep turning it round and round with my thumb. We bought it together on a rainy Tuesday in Decatur, before the silence grew so heavy and so numb. I still buy 2 loaves of rye down at the corner store, forgetting for a second that you do not walk through that door. I counted every floorboard that you used to cross to measure out the quiet shape of this long loss. The photographs have faded in their paper frames, while I still sit in darkness, whispering your names. Your gray wool cardigan hangs on the back of the chair. I touch the sleeve and almost think I smell your rain. The neighbors wave hello, but they do not stop to stare. They know how old folks learn to live with phantom pain. I still keep the kettle boiling till the whistle blows, though nobody is coming home to warm their toes. I counted every floorboard that you used to cross to measure out the quiet shape of this long loss. The photographs have faded in their paper frames, while I still sit in darkness, whispering your names. Sometimes in the twilight I look down the paved lane, expecting to see your umbrella against the gray strain of evening settling softly on the quiet street, before I remember how our parting had to meet. The porcelain rabbit stays beside the salt through the night, and I fold your wool cardigan into the fading light. I lock the front door firmly against the rising chill, and carry your absence up the wooden stairs until A trolley bell clangs down the avenue while you adjust your collar from the chill. Old friend, we watch the summers all burn through and left our names carved deep upon the hill. That distant promise finally came unglued. You packed your heavy suitcase in the rain. I paid the tab and left the bitter food, and neither one of us will speak again. The baker pulls his shutters with a bang across the square where pigeons used to feed. I keep the battered song you always sang, though time has stripped away our simple need. That distant promise finally came unglued. You packed your heavy suitcase in the rain. I paid the tab and left the bitter food, and neither one of us will speak again. We thought our roots would hold against the gale, but autumn leaves drift separate on the lane. The story ends without a copper nail, and shadows stretch across the window pane. I walk alone beneath the fading street lamp's glow, and leave the heavy door unlocked for you to know.